ever wonder what the life of a best-selling author is really like? They'll discuss what it feels like to have a really bad interview and getting ready for a 100-mile race.
So, Amy, best interview, and I'm not going to say who your best interview was, but besides that, have you had an interview that just, you just didn't feel fulfilled?
I did.
Okay.
I did, yeah.
Tell me what was missing.
Yeah, well, first of all, we had a technology issue. And it was actually just via the phone, and the phone line dropped out. So that was frustrating from a technology perspective. But beyond that, I had submitted questions ahead of time. And then the interviewer didn't ask me any of those questions. We went in a different direction, and that's fine. Right? I'm a speaker. I'm a facilitator. I'm used to being in front of rooms. I'm used to things going in a different direction. But then I didn't know where we were going. Right? I thought our theme was different. And then I wasn't as certain about what to highlight. And then our rhythm was off. Right? I wouldn't quite be done with what I was saying. And then they were interjecting and asking a different question. I was a little bit lost as to where we were headed.
Okay, so let me see if I can highlight some of this. So what I'm hearing you say is that there wasn't as much of a roadmap of where the interview was going.
Yes.
And then even when it was going somewhere, the host did not pause to listen and allow you to just open up.
Yes.
Okay. And all right. So now we got an audience, right? There's so many people coming in with podcasts, and I'm encouraging you guys, you always have to do something. You have to build your list. And we all come out and we do these things together, right? This is what we do for a living, right? We stand in sourcing more people to connect with us. That's what we do. So, within that though, how did that make you feel?
Yeah, it was a mix of emotions. I felt really busy at the time. So preparing the questions and the responses that I did, I'm like, well, I did that for nothing, right? And I fit that into a busy schedule. So that's just something about me. I'm an efficiency gal. So that frustrated me. And then, I vacillated between some uncertainty, like did the messages that I did get a chance to say, did they resonate? Did they land with the audience? Was I able to provide value? And then also just trying to trust that, yes, I do know my messaging, and whatever we got to, I've got to trust that it provided value and it landed for someone, and that, this unfolded in some way that it could benefit someone that was on the line.
All right, so again, someone who's definitely higher in her leadership skills, and you allowed.
I was trying to allow Maureen.
Let me ask you, would you really be ready to jump on with another? Did you feel aligned and supported and like in alliance with this host after
that? No, I think we can have a conversation to get there. And yeah, it just felt, disjointed and not supportive.
Okay. All right. Courage of a leader.
Yes.
Again, so I had the privilege of, and I was looking forward to re-review, but I realized I had an advanced copy. So that's why it wasn't in my Kindle where everyone else's books are.
Oh, yes.
And so again, I've been so committed to your work and what you do. You've introduced the word courage
Mm.
into my vocabulary. And tell us, Courage of a Leader. Who's it for? Why'd you write it?
Yeah, I wrote it because I realized as I was working with leaders at different levels and in different ways, that every time I was impressed or inspired by a leader, that leader was demonstrating true courage. The kind of courage where you're doing the work in here in order to do the work out there. And I see so many leadership books out there that are about do this, do that, do this, do that. And I've seen leaders have success focusing more on mindset, perspective, intention than robotically trying to get this set of behaviors exactly right. So I wanted to share their stories and that message, and get that into the mainstream.
So, principles about being a courageous leader. Can you lay those out for us, please?
Yes, sure. And Maureen knows that the courage of a leader, 4 pillars are covered in the book. The first pillar is the courage to be authentically you, right? Be yourself, know your leadership style, know your leadership values, and the value that you bring. Pillar 2, the courage to say what needs to be said. Right, and there's a variety of circumstances where that shows up. Pillar 3, the courage to trust the legacy, and that is your leadership legacy, an aspiration about who you want to be or what you want to provide in the world as a leader. Could simply be a leadership trait. And then pillar 4, the courage to be bold and create the extraordinary. That really go for it attitude, because why not?
So again, just simply stating, living your word. Yeah, I had mentioned Amy's on a now. I mean, triathlons. What? Those are just for ordinary people. 100-mile race. 100
Yes.
miles. Okay, so you gave your just the schedule in Facebook, and it was like how many miles per day, and what it just gives a little taste of that.
Yes, I'm still taking in what this plan says. I am on week 3 or 4 of a 26-week plan to get ready for this event. I'm running now 5 times a week. And what I'm getting used to now is having long run late in the week, followed by a medium run, a sizable run the day after. So they're not that long yet.
Can you break that down for some of us who says like 2 miles is kind of good? So yeah, all right. What does that really mean?
So right now, those 2 days at the end of the week, I'm running, right now it's just about 18-20 miles. It'll start to increase very quickly. Yeah, and then the longest training run will be a 50-miler. But it's about building up that volume throughout the week. So you actually don't do a 70-mile run or an 80-mile run getting ready for the 100-mile.